Okay, my name is Katherine Rodriguez, and I work with the mobile product team under Connect. I have been a mentor for 4 years at the YWCA Future Leaders Program, and basically volunteered primarily because out of curiosity. And I also wanted to balance my work and my out of office life, and wanted to balance the male presence in the office, and wanted to do something with women and with teenagers. So the Future Leaders Program specifically is for teenagers years 10 to 13, and it basically deals with low decile schools, and it helps children who are, or teenagers who are actually in the program that want to be a future leader or want to develop themselves personally. And I found this particular program interesting because it actually allows me to work with women outside of work and actually be exposed to other women outside of work, and also allows me to deal with teenagers who I feel, is quite interesting as well. And the Future Leaders Program has a 2-year commitment, and I'm very proud to say that I've survived the 2 years and actually carried on until the 4th year. I have actually seen my mentee develop into a confident teenager. I managed to find her a school that she actually was interested in. She seemed to really be keen into sewing, but it was finding the right school for her, given that her parents are basically wasn't too involved with her school and didn't have the ability to speak English because her background's Chinese. But for some reason, she seemed to have struggled finding the leadership mentoring amongst her family and her cousins that are her immediate family. So I was basically the first outsider really in her life to help her develop and grow as a person. So the challenges for me in this program was really more breaking the barriers. It wasn't really breaking barriers female to female, but it was really more a cultural barrier. I had to basically allow her to be comfortable with me because I was a complete stranger to her. So in my first year working with her, it was really all just emailing her on a daily basis, just asking her the basic questions. How are you doing? And she would reply one word, and the one word grew into 2, 3, until she'd, reply in sentences. So that was basically the first year. The second year the aim was to actually meet her outside of her home, because we didn't meet really. I would come to her house, but she didn't understand the concept of meeting outside. So I basically just did things that she's never done before. So that was my main goal, was to make her experience things that she didn't do. So I took her snowboarding, I took her baking. She never, until meeting me, she hadn't even held a hand mixer, for example. And we did that for the city mission for her community day, and that was really pretty powerful for her. And that she also developed a sense of, wow, I can make cupcakes, and the people here, didn't even question whether they were perfect or not. They were just so grateful. So that was quite amazing. I guess in terms of challenges, I would think that I relied on the YWCA and her school and to facilitate the gaps as well, because I couldn't obviously do everything on my own. I thought I could, but as the relationship through the years happened, I realized that, as in most things, you can't do everything yourself. So I basically reached out to the YWCA and I said, there are certain communication gaps, expectations that maybe the program needs to address as well, to allow mutual meeting, or at least being able to meet in the middle. Because you can't, even if you held her hand the whole way through, not unless she actually holds your hand and actually brings it forward, it doesn't really move, and the relationship is just one way. So I think the resilience was one of my things that I actually achieved through all this, and actually just the satisfaction that she's in a school and she's happy, and I feel that I can let her go, basically. Okay, if anyone wants to actually mentor. I think it's very, I guess one of the things that you need to clarify really when you do mentoring is to decide, what would you like to do? Is it sports? Is it kids? Is it teenagers? I think you have to narrow more or less the area because there's so many opportunities out there to mentor kids in varying ways. So I think that you have to basically look to what areas interest you, what are things that you are passionate with. Like for me, it was really women, because it was really more that, my work was male dominated and I needed something to balance that, because I felt you could see that there is so much potential for women. So that was my bit, and I couldn't do children younger than teenagers because I really wouldn't know, I felt that maybe I didn't have the expertise to be able to do it, and I figured teenagers were easy. So I think you have to know yourself, know which areas, whether it's sports, academics, leadership. You just know your strengths and know where you can contribute, and from there you can actually find the right opportunity for mentoring for you.